Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from DeFazio Park in Needham, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity girls soccer contest between the hosting Rockets of Needham High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. We're off to a late start out here in Needham. Brookline late to arrive. Some issues with the buses and the fact that they don't, they don't let the kids out early on game days in Brookline. So very recent arrival, and we'll be getting this underway a little later than expected. And unfortunately, the Wi-Fi connection a little worse than we might have hoped out here at DeFazio Park. But I'm going to do the best I can with what I have available, and I'll have a fully recorded version that I can upload later if this stream ends up kind of going kaput. Brookline coming into this contest with a 2-1-0 record. Of course, they dropped their season opener on the road against Hopkinton 2-1. They had a thrilling comeback victory in their home opener against Newton South 3-2. Last Monday, and then last Wednesday, I believe it was, they hosted Natick in Brookline and were able to get barely more than a half of the game finished before it had to be called due to thunderstorms. And with Brookline leading 1-0 at that point in the game, half over, they were able to officially call it and give Brookline the win. Needham coming into this contest with a 1-1-0 record. They dropped their season opener, I believe, to Milton 1-0, and then secured the win against Weymouth 3-0 to even out their record. So the two teams warming up. It's a beautiful day out here in Needham, aside from some big gusts of wind that could have some impact on some higher kicked balls. It might potentially have an impact on my Wi-Fi connection, which has been bad, to say the least, so far. But like I said, we'll have a fully recorded version that you can upload later, that I can upload later, and you'll be able to watch later if this ends up really bad, which it looks like it's going to be, unfortunately. In the meantime, let's take a look at the rosters for the two teams coming in today. Let's start with the hosts over here on my right in their dark blue jerseys with yellow trim and white jersey numbers. Let's take a look at the Needham High Rockets. Going in order of jersey number for Needham, first off, we have a junior, number 1, Amelie Rigenbout. Next, a sophomore, number 2, Maeve Newman. A junior captain, number 4, Ava Chiapinelli. A sophomore, number 5, Fiona Comenzo. A junior, number 7, Megan Hovart. A junior, number 8, Kyra Wolin. A freshman, number 9, Isabel Marino. A junior, number 10, Callie McCarthy. A junior, number 11, Gianna Moreski. A senior, number 14, Marin McNeil. A junior, number 16, Kate O'Newalling. A sophomore, number 18, Jessica Breyer. A senior, number 19, Riley McGillivray. A senior, number 20, Maya Dixon. A senior, number 21, Sandra Zolotar. A senior, number 22, Anna Lieberman. A senior, number 24, Sam Frankel. A sophomore, number 25, Chelsea Heeger. A junior captain, number 26, Emma Spear. A junior, number 27, Sam Bonacia. A freshman, number 28, Sarah Porras. A sophomore, number 29, Hannah Levine. And a junior, number 30, Natalia Lee. Head coach of the Needham High girls soccer team is Kayla Steves. So there's the roster for the hosting Needham High Rockets. Now let's move it over to the left side for the visitors in their white jerseys with their blue outline jersey numbers. Let's take a look at the roster for the Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of jersey number, once again, first off we have a freshman, number 1, Paige Hammond. Next, a sophomore, number 3, Jada Kimbrough. A junior manager, number 4, Ashley Cherwin. A junior captain entering this game with 1 goal and 2 assists on the season thus far, number 5, Vilena Chernichev. A freshman, number 7, Haley Ament. A freshman, number 8, Juliana Siegel. A junior, number 9, McKenna Hammond. A senior captain with 1 goal on the season thus far, number 12, Amra Ukamadu. A sophomore, number 13, Julia Vianello. A sophomore, number 14, Mirabelle Kesselman. A junior, number 15, Babette Hall. A junior, number 16, Nora Shue. A sophomore, number 17, Lila Cannon. A junior captain with 1 goal and 1 assist on the season thus far, number 18, Anna Leshley. A junior captain with 1 goal on the season thus far, number 19, Sydney Freeze. A sophomore, number 20, Amalia Lindgren Palm. A junior, number 21, Greta Radke. A freshman, number 23, Jameson McGee. A senior with 1 goal on the season so far, number 24, Emma Eisenhower. And the 2 goalkeepers on the roster for Brookline, a junior, Julia Cherwin, and a freshman, Chloe Price. Head coach of the Brookline High girls soccer team is Ben Peters. So that is the roster for Brookline coming in today here at DeFazio Park in Needham, Massachusetts. It is Brookline versus Needham, Warriors versus Rockets. We will soon be getting this one underway. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Soccer. Kick through, finds its target, freeze! There's the whistle, shot is in! Sends a leading pass, crashing, Leshley scores! All right. Needham has concluded their warm-ups. Brookline trying to get as many warm-ups in as they can, as they arrived kind of late to the contest. Thank you all once again for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from DeFazio Park in Needham, Massachusetts for today's high school varsity girls soccer contest between Brookline and Needham. Even with the rough Wi-Fi connection we have today. If you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. We got plenty more soccer action on the docket, both in this week and the weeks to come throughout this fall season. So be sure to stay tuned for plenty more Brookline soccer action. Subscribing to the channel can help. And of course, if there's anything you would like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. It could be as simple as go Brookline or go Needham. No matter who it is you're rooting for, we appreciate fans bringing the good vibes and supporting their favorite team or their favorite players. If you want to give a shout out to your favorite player specifically. If you want to let us know where you're tuning in from, that can be fun with these online live streams that can be watched all over the world. If you notice any technical difficulties, yes, I am aware the stream is probably buffering like crazy because I know the Wi-Fi connection out here is not good. I am recording this while streaming it, so I will be able to post a fully recorded version after the fact, regardless of how bad the connection makes this stream. I'll make it as good as I can. But if it ends up being surprisingly good, you can always let me know that. Or if my audio cuts out during one of the healthier parts of the video of the stream, you can let me know about that. Might be something I don't notice on my end, and it might be something I can fix. And then, of course, if you notice me pronouncing any names incorrectly for either team, please let me know in the live chat. I want to give these student athletes the best coverage I possibly can, and to me, part of that means getting their names right. We've got our first shout out in the live chat from Tom Rinker. Shout out to Chloe Price, the freshman netminder for Brookline. Most of the starts have been going to the upperclassman Julia Cherwin, but Price waiting in the wings as the understudy and quite possibly a future starter. But for now, we got 40 minutes on the clock for this. The first half of today's game looks like Needham is going to be playing from the left side. No jersey number for their goalkeeper, so I'm not sure who's in net for the Rockets. Not much I can do about that, but if there are any Needham fans who know who the starting netminder is, I encourage you to let me know in the live chat. And here come the Warriors. Starting in net today will once again be their junior goalkeeper, Julia Cherwin. Cherwin had a rough first couple of games, giving up 2 goals in each of Brookline's first 2 contests, including a couple of plays in the Newton South game that just kind of slipped out of her hands on a very wet and rainy day. But in the Natick game, while it did not play all the way through, was called early in the second half due to thunderstorms, Cherwin did secure her first shutout of the year as Brookline secured a 1-0 win in that one. So Needham on the left, Brookline on the right here in the first half. Looks like Needham is going to get the opening possession to start this game. Warriors versus Rockets, Brookline versus Needham. Number 11, Gianna Moreski, is going to get us started, and here we go. Needham sends it out to the near side to number 25, Chelsea Heeger. Pass broken up by Nora Shu. Deflects over to Velena Chernychev. Pass to the middle to Anna Leshley. Leshley passes it to the back line to Mirabelle Kesselman, and the ball is knocked away from her by number 27, Sam Bonasia. Sends it up the near side, and it's knocked out of bounds, and Brookline gets the favorable deflection. Moreski was trying to pursue that one offensively for Needham, but Brookline's center back, number 15, Babette Hall, knocked it out of bounds while getting a favorable deflection off Moreski. Brookline with a big clearing kick, bouncing along, and it goes off the head of the center back, Ava Chiapinelli. That was a big save there. If that had gone over her head, Amru Ukamadu was going to be off to the races. This one kicked out of bounds. And it's going to be Brookline ball again. Shu throws it into Chernychev. Tapped back to Shu and back over to Chernychev. Now back up the line for Shu. Shu kicks it up the line, deflected. McKenna Hammond keeps it in play for Brookline, sends it back to Leslie. Leslie pops one up in the air. Ukamadu racing for it. Goes off the head of a defender and then sliced off the foot, then off the head of Chiapinelli. Brookline keeping it on the attack. Ukamadu trying to down it. Ukamadu battling for the ball, but it rolls away from her and is cleared out by the Rockets. Goes up to Moreski and a pass out to the far side. Big defensive play was initially hit by number 20, Maya Dixon. Was able to clear it out with some help from a header from Chiapinelli. Now Needham, a bit of a miscommunication on the give and go there as it's intercepted by McKenna Hammond. Hammond working it up the near side. Taps it out to Shu. Shu passes back to Chernychev. To the middle now to Sydney Freeze. Freeze dribbling up the middle. Gets through one defender. It's kicked away but deflected. Needham pushes it across midfield and it's going to be taken by Hall. Hall pass out to the near side to Kesselman. Up the line. Couldn't be kept in bounds and it will be Needham ball. Heger throwing it in. Up to number 18, Jessica Breyer. Pass back for Heger, knocked out of bounds. And it will stay with Needham. McKenna Hammond was on the defense there. Throw in is booted, but gets away and out of bounds off the foot of number 10, Callie McCarthy. Shu throws it in off the knee of Hammond, bouncing into open space, and it's booted all the way back to the Brookline end, taken by Hall. Pass up the middle to Freeze. Quick kick out to the near side to Kesselman. Kesselman decides to send it back to Hall. Hall out to the far side, finds her target. I believe that is Julia Vianello. Vianello kicks it across midfield. Chiapinelli cuts it off. Chiapinelli dribbling back, sending a pass back, and it's kicked away by number 26, Emma Spear. Controlled by Moreski, pass gets through to McCarthy. McCarthy dribbling up the middle, tries to send one through, but it's going to roll too far, and it's going to be scooped up easily by Julia Cherwin. Cherwin, surveying her options, decides to go for the punt. Kicked down by number 29, Hannah Levine. Couple kicks back and forth, corralled by Moreski. Pass to the outside, I believe that's Dixon. Dixon sends it forward, kicked away by Vianello, goes through the legs, and it's taken by Ukamadu. Ukamadu sending a leader for Hammond. Hammond off to the races. It's going to be a race to the ball. Hammond fighting for it. Hammond still fighting, and it's finally kicked away by Spear. McKenna Hammond showing some good physical fight for the ball there, but just couldn't outmuscle two defenders at once. Ukamadu dribbling, gets around a defender, touches one through, is off the foot of Chernychev, and she can't chase it down. It is scooped up by the Needham netminder. Punted away, bouncing along, goes off the foot of Moreski. Rolling deep down in the Brookline end. Hall kicks it back to Cherwin. Cherwin back out to Hall. Hall up the line to Vianello. Vianello gets around one, pass to the middle for Freeze. Freeze dribbles away from pressure and passes it back to Cherwin. Cherwin kicks it up the near side, goes off the foot of Haley Ament, and she can't keep it in bounds. Substitution coming in for Needham, number 8, Kyra Wolin, or it might be Kira Wolin, excuse me, as she substitutes in for number 2, Maeve Newman. Dixon throws it in, downed by Ament, out of bounds. Another throw in, goes off ahead, deflects several which ways. Now Vianello kicks it away, goes up to Chernychev. Chernychev sends it up the far side, but it's booted away by Chiapinelli. Gets up to Moreski, now kicked away by Vianello, out of bounds. Dixon throws it in. And it's a scrum for the ball, and Chernychev, despite being outnumbered, comes away with it. Pass to the middle to Leshley, now back up to Chernychev. Chernychev sends it to the outside to Ament. Ament racing up the far sideline. Now kicks towards the middle. It's headed down by Spear, off the head of Dixon, and booted away by Levine. Deep in Brookline territory, Hall going to chase that one down, kick it back to Cherwin. Cherwin back out to Hall, and Hall kicks it up the line out of bounds. Throw in off the head of Moreski. Bounces over a player, but she's muscling through for it, and the shot is deflected by Sydney Freeze. I believe that was number 27, Sam Bonacia, who managed to muscle her way around Hall for a good look there, but Sydney Freeze, good job covering for her teammate. But that will be a corner kick, first corner of the day, and it goes to the Rockets. Kick comes in low, bouncing, and it is in! Needham first on the board, and based on the celebrations, I think it was scored by number 29, Hannah Levine. A chaotic goal to start, and the Rockets are first on the board. They went for a low kick there, and Brookline was not able to clear it out immediately. All started, of course, by a strong offensive effort from Sam Bonacia, but it is Levine, I believe, who is credited with the goal. Brookline now has to try and respond. Leshley dribbling with it, passes it back to Hall. Hall out to the far side to Ament. Now back to Vianello. Vianello kicks it across midfield, and it's kicked away by Spear up to Levine, and now to the outside to number 25, Heeger. Heeger kicks it upfield. It's taken by Kesselman. Kesselman sends it back to Cherwin. Cherwin sends it out to the far side to Vianello. Vianello gets around a defender, now passes it upfield. Ament manages to get there first. Ament racing up the far side, sends a pass forward for Ukamadou. Ukamadou racing with Chiapinelli. Ukamadou trying to gain the edge. Chiapinelli not going to let her, and they're going to say last touched by Ukamadou, and that will be a goal kick for Needham. 1-0 the Needham lead. Early in this one, still 31 minutes on the clock here in the first half. This one booted high, deflects off ahead, downed by Chernychev. Knocked away from Chernychev, it is taken, but knocked away just barely by Hall. But now a floater pass going for Moreski. It's knocked away by Vianello, and Vianello keeps with the ball to knock it away. Leshley corrals it, pass back to Kesselman, kicked upfield for Chernychev. Chernychev kicks it forward, knocked away from Ukamadou, but recovered by Chernychev. Taps it back for Leshley. Leshley gets around one defender, pass into open space, but nobody was there for it, and it's taken instead by Dixon. Dixon kicks it, knocked away by Freeze, taken by Chernychev. Back to Leshley. Leshley to the near side to Kesselman. That pass off the mark and out of bounds. Got a sub coming in for Needham. Number 2, Maeve Newman, re-enters the game, replacing number 11, Gianna Moreski. Heeger throws it in. It's knocked back, off the mark, out of bounds. Shu throws it up the line, goes over ahead. It's cut off by Spear, but Hammond's trying to fight for it. Spear still cuts it off and passes, manages to get it to Heeger, who kicks it up the line. And now it's kicked further up. It goes the wrong way off the head of Hall. Rolling deep into Brookline territory, Vianello racing after it. Vianello kicks it up the line and out of bounds. Throw in. Kicked in the air by Leshley. Knocked down by Dixon. Deflects back and forth between players and finally corralled by Freeze. Pass back to Kesselman. Kesselman just barely boots it away, but it goes right to Levine. Levine passes forward, finds Newman. Newman tries a pass intercepted by Freeze over to Chernychev. Chernychev sends a nice one through to Shu. Shu walled off by Heger, out of bounds. Throw in, out of bounds off of McCarthy. Shu throws it into Chernychev. Chernychev escapes the pressure and disrupted by McCarthy on the pass, and it's taken away by Fiona Comenzo. Now a kick upfield is going to go too far. Kira Wolin was trying to lead her teammates, but the kick was just too far. Cherwin simply taps the goal kick over to Hall. Hall boots it upfield to Ament. Ament passes it back to Vianello. And back and forth between Ament and Vianello. Vianello fakes and now passes it back to Cherwin. Cherwin, looking around, gives it to Hall. Hall gets a favorable deflection for the goal kick, but Needham applying some strong forward pressure there. Quick kick out to the near side off the goal kick to Kesselman. Kesselman lost the ball. It's taken away. Passed back to McCarthy. Passed towards the middle. Just barely broken up by Leshley. Now a kick goes off a face. Shu kicks it away. That was almost dangerous for Brookline. And now Needham back on the attack. Pass goes through to McCarthy. McCarthy cuts towards the middle. Kick goes through to the outside. It's recovered by Dixon. Dixon trying to gain the edge. Kick is deflected and kept in bounds by Cherwin. Cherwin rolls one up the middle to Leshley. Tapped back to Vianello. Vianello up the line. Cut off by Dixon. Kick to the middle. Kicked back out to Levine. Now up to Wolin. Wolin sends it up the far side. Now kicked forward. It's a race. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be another Brookline goal kick. Needham riding high off the momentum of the game's first goal, and they are keeping up that forward pressure against the Warriors. Substitution for Needham, number 27, Sam Bonacia re-enters the game, replacing number 5, Fiona Comenzo. Kick into open space, deflected and downed by Levine. Levine passes it back to Chiapinelli. Chiapinelli gets it away to Dixon on the far side. Pass forward to Wolin, tapped to the outside to Newman, back to Dixon. Dixon to the middle. Levine boots it forward, too far out of bounds. And we've got a mandatory timeout called because I think blood was spotted. And so by rule, even if it's just a minor scratch, Mirabelle Kesselman has to come out. She will be replaced by number 23, Jamison McGee. Throw in, tapped back to Ament. But now taken away by Wolin. Pass to Bonacia. Bonacia kicks it in open space for McCarthy. McCarthy taps one through. Shot is fired and it sails just high. Shot from number 24, Sam Frankel, who's had a couple of big offensive pushes for the Rockets here in the first half. Just under 25 minutes on the clock here in the first half. Brookline working it up the near side. This is Shu. Shu pass to Chernychev, tries the give and go, but interrupted by McCarthy. Kicked away, downed by Chernychev. Battling with McCarthy. Chernychev wins it, but she's kind of trapped and gets the favorable deflection out of bounds. Throw in, deflects away from Shu, but Chernychev recovers and boots it way upfield. It's another race for the ball. Chiapinelli is going to get there first, and she smartly boots it out of bounds. Ukamadou and Hammond were applying pressure there. Shu throws it in. Hammond gets around a defender. Hammond charging in, tries to tap one through, gets it to Leshley. Leshley dribbling, trying to find the edge. Crosser to the box, headed away and out of bounds. This will be Brookline's first corner kick. My apologies for the slightly obstructed view along the near side here, folks. I wanted the sun behind me, and so I shot from this sideline, but Brookline is going to be setting up for the corner. Up in the air, this one goes, headed wide. Ament recovers, sends it back into the box, and it deflects and is kicked out of bounds again by Needham. That's going to be another corner. Ament setting up in the corner again. This time they got Freeze pulled out of the box, but it's kicked back into the box, and it goes too high, and it's going to roll all the way to the opposite side, out of bounds, Needham ball. Or no, Brookline ball. It was deflected by the Rockets. Ament throws it into Hammond. Hammond pass back to Ament to the middle to Ukamadou. Ukamadou disrupted on defense by, I believe, Levine, but that pass intercepted by Freeze. Freeze dribbling, passes it back to Hall. Hall pops it up in the air, chased down by Ament. Ament pass disrupted, and it's taken away by, I believe, Wolin. Pass through the middle for Frankel, disrupted by McGee. Recovered by McCarthy, pass out to Heeger. Heeger sends one through for Bonacia, but it goes off her knee and is rolling too far. Out of bounds, but not out of bounds before she kicks it and gets the favorable deflection. It is Needham ball. Rockets throw in short. Now a kick. Sails out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. Subs coming in for Needham, number 11, Gianna Moreski, and number 18, Jessica Breyer, return to the field, replacing Bonacia and Wolin. Hall dribbling up the middle, sends it to the far side for Vianello. Vianello up the line to Ament. Ament, pass forward, it rolls wide out of bounds. Dixon throws it in, bouncing along. Vianello pops it into the air, out of bounds. Substitution coming in for Needham. Bonacia re-enters the game quickly, replacing Frankel, and Mirabelle Kesselman back on the field for Brookline, replacing Jamison McGee. Throw in off the head of Moreski, booted away by Freeze, and that's going to go wide and out of bounds. Another throw in from Dixon, off the head of Leshley, off the head of Breyer, off the head of Moreski, and Hall just boxing out, and she smartly waits for Moreski so she can get the favorable deflection, and Brookline can get a goal kick. A little over halfway through the first half, less than 20 minutes on the scoreboard clock out here at DeFazio Park. Still 1-0 the Needham lead as Brookline clears it out of their own end, gets it up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou Sends it up the far side for Ament. Ament racing against Dixon. Ament stops, plants, kicks it over to Ukamadu. Ukamadu's kick disrupted by Dixon, and it's taken now by Breyer. Breyer a pass up to Moreski. Moreski a pass. Race to the open spot, and it's Shu who gets there first. Pass back to Kesselman. Kesselman upfield to Chernychev. Chernychev gives it to Freeze. Freeze to the near side to Kesselman. Kesselman decides to go back to Hall. Hall over to the far side to Vianello. Now up the line to Ament. Ament dribbling, tries to leave it for a teammate, but nobody was there, and it's taken away by Newman. Pass over to Moreski. It tries to pass through, intercepted by Freeze. Now to the near side to Shu. Shu up the line. It's a race between Spear and Hammond Hammond's going to win the race. McKenna Hammond's shot is wide. Substitution for Brookline, number 20, Amalia Lindgren-Palm, entering the game for the first time, replacing Haley Ament. Again, we've seen some great physical battles from McKenna Hammond, applying forward pressure for Brookline, but just hasn't quite found the look she wants yet. Long kick deflects several different ways. And now we've got our first penalty call of the day, and it's going to go against Needham. Brookline setting up for the free kick. This is Kesselman. Long boot up, headed away. And it goes out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throw-in gets away from Leshley, and it's taken by Moreski. Pass to the far side to Newman. Knocked out of bounds. Subs coming in for Needham. Number 5, Kira Wolin back out there, and also number 14, Marin McNeil. They replace Callie McCarthy and Gianna Moreski. Throw in and a slip and a fall. And it looks like out of bounds Needham ball. Throw in for Breyer. Broken up, stolen away by Vianello. Pass deflected, but it gets to Chernychev. Now back to Vianello. Up the line for Lindgren-Palm. Lindgren-Palm sends a pass through, but off the mark, taken by Wolin. Pass back to Levine. Levine, pass to the near side. Knocked away by Shu, taken by Kesselman. Pass up to Shu. Shu's pass deflected, and another kick deflected, and that is going to be kept in bounds, surprisingly, by Shu. Goes off the head of Spear and out of bounds. Substitution for Brookline, number 1, Paige Hammond takes the field, replacing Velena Chernychev. Hammond again wrestling for the ball. McKenna Hammond going up the near side, now cutting towards the middle. Pass through the middle is off the mark, taken by Bonacia and cleared away. Hall takes it, sends it out to the far side to Vianello. Vianello up the far side to Lindgren-Palm. Pass misses Leshley, and it's taken by Levine. Levine's kick deflected out of bounds. Dixon throws it in. Breyer disrupted, and now it's kicked away by Vianello. Over Chiapinelli's head. Chiapinelli controls it, but Ukamadu steals it away. Ukamadu racing, sends one towards the box, but there was nobody there, and she didn't have the angle. This will be a goal kick. Goal kick's going to come from Chiapinelli. Booted off the head of Leshley. And And Dixon pops it out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball, throw in. And we got a hand ball as the ball deflected wrong off the hand of Leshley. It'll be Needham ball. Still leads Brookline 1. Chiapinelli boots it off the head of Leshley, going the wrong way. Bonacia chasing it down. Bonacia crosser into the box, over the head. Booted up in the air, still in the box, and now it goes out. Freeze trying to kick it away, but Levine walls her off. Brookline still trying to fight it away. It is controlled by Heger, sent up to McNeil, who almost had the header chance there. McNeil pass to the middle to Levine, pops it to the near side, bounces out of bounds. Throw in. Battle for the ball, out of bounds. Needham ball. Subs coming in for the Rockets. Number 10, Kelly McCarthy returns to the field, and for the first time, number 28, Sarah Porras. Throw in. Deflects over to Porras. Knocked away by Shu. Gets up to Freeze. Pass up to Hammond. Out of bounds. Needham ball again. Spear throws it in. Downed by Kesselman. Gets over to McKenna Hammond. Kicked away by Heger, but controlled by Freeze. Freeze out to the far side. Lindgren Palm couldn't stay with it. Kicked away by Dixon. Up to McCarthy. McCarthy cutting towards the middle. Pops one up in the air. Off a couple bounces. It is corralled by Sherwin. Sherwin punts it. Knocked down by Dixon, out of bounds, Brookline ball. And we got two subs coming in for Brookline. For the first time, number 3, Jada Kimbrough, and number 17, Lila Kennan take to the field. They replace Nora Shu and McKenna Hammond. Throw in to Leshley. Leshley pass back to Vianello. And back to Sherwin. Now out to the far side to Vianello. Vianello fighting up the far sideline. Pass to the middle, intercepted. Knocked away by Levine. Now Needham attacking. Bonacia can't get through Hall. It's knocked away. Pass up to Lindgren Palm. Lindgren Palm battling with McCarthy. Trying to stay with it. Through a physical battle. Pass knocked out of bounds by the Rockets. Just under 11 minutes left here in the first half. Throw-in goes to Cannon. Cannon. It's knocked out of bounds, this time Needham ball. Substitution for Needham, number 11, Gianna Moreski returns, replacing Sam Bonacia. Needham has been making a flurry of substitutions in and out throughout the half, displaying the confidence in their depth. Dixon throws it in. It's headed down. And I think they called a handball on Needham, or maybe a penalty. Either way, free kick for Brookline. Leshley kicks it to the near side to Kesselman. Kesselman kicks it throughout to the far side, intercepted by Dixon. Dixon kicks up the middle to Moreski. Pass broken up from Breyer. Recovered by Leshley. Pass back to Lindgren Palm and further back to Vianello. To the middle to Hall. Hall up the middle to Freeze. Freeze kicks a leader. Knocked away by Chiapinelli. Over to Porras, and now McCarthy pops it up in the air. Porras recovers. Can't keep it in bounds. Brookline ball. Kimbrough throws it into Freeze. Freeze keeps control, passes back to Kesselman. Kesselman rolls out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throw in. Out of bounds, last touched by Needham. Kimbrough looking for a quick throw in. Off the head of Cannon. Bouncing along. Leshley sends it back, misses Paige Hammond, and it's taken by Hall. Pass out to Vianello. Vianello turns back around, sends it across to Kesselman. Now back to Hall. Hall kicks it up for, excuse me, to Leshley. Up to Lindgren Palm. Back to Vianello. Vianello boots it upfield, knocked away by Dixon. Deflects off Breyer. Now a scrum for the ball. It's kicked forward by Needham. Moreski kicks one, but nobody there. That's going to roll out the back end for a goal kick. Substitution for Needham. Number 2, Maeve Newman, back in the game. She's going to replace Jessica Breyer. Eight minutes left in the half. Hall to the far side to Vianello. Vianello to the middle to Hall. Hall looking. Sends one through to Freeze. Freeze back to the near side to Kesselman. Kesselman fighting against Porras. Kicks one, deflected by Levine. Now tapped forward by Leshley. Spear has to boot it away. Forward pressure coming from Kimbrough. Out of bounds, Brookline ball. Kimbrough throws it in for Freeze. Now back to Hall. Hall pops it out to the far side. Downed by Lindgren Palm. Lindgren Palm trying to get around, but Dixon cuts her off and lets it roll out of bounds. Throw in for Newman, cut off by Paige Hammond, taps it back to Vianello, who kicks it forward for Ukamadou. Ukamadou trying to get around Chiapinelli, but Chiapinelli won't let her. Kicked up to Wolin. Wolin, her pass misses, taken by Hall. Hall dribbling, but lost track of the ball, taken away by Newman. Pass back to Wolin, given back to Newman. Newman cuts through, pass misses. Hall boots it away upfield. Off the head of Chiapinelli. Levine boots it across midfield. Kesselman kicks it back, but it's kicked right back and forth. Off the head of Leshley into open space. Dixon kicks it away. Hard collision for the ball. Moreski manages to kick it away, but it's taken by Kesselman, booted up in the air. Off the head of Freeze, downed by Levine. Levine's kick walled off by Freeze, deflects over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough sends it back to Kesselman. And back to Hall, and out to the near side to Kimbrough. Kimbrough's kick deflects, but Kimbrough recovers it herself. Collides with McCarthy, but stays with the ball. Now kicks it across midfield, booted away by Dixon. Off the head of Kimbrough and back to Kesselman. Kesselman upfield. Ukamadou trying to fight through multiple defenders. She cannot. Kicked away by Dixon. Goes back to Vianello. Vianello dribbling through, pass deflected but recovered by Vianello. Vianello still dribbling with it. Pass walled off by multiple Needham defenders. They try and clear it, but Brookline walls it off. Now it's cleared out. Recovered by Leshley. Leshley gets pass out to Vianello and a give and go back to Leshley. Leshley out to Lindgren Palm. Lindgren Palm, a crosser. Downed but booted away by Chiapinelli. Now Hall corrals it. Sends it all the way back to Sherwin. Clock is frozen at 4:59. We are in stoppage time here in the first half. Paige Hammond's pass cut off by Newman. Newman pass to the middle to Levine. Levine. Pass goes up to Porras. Porras knocked away by Kesselman. Substitution now coming in for Needham. Number 24, Sam Frankel, replaces Gianna Moreski. Throw in coming for Needham. Kesselman simply boxes out, lets it roll out the back end for a goal kick. Substitution coming in for Brookline. Vilena Chernychev returns to the field, replacing Anna Leshley. Hall kicks it upfield, downed, but too far. It's taken away by Newman, but her kick is walled off by Paige Hammond, recovered by Dixon. Pass across the way to McCarthy. McCarthy kicks it forward. Hall boxing out so Cherwin can come out and get it. Cherwin rolls it into Vianello. Vianello gets around one defender and passes up the line to Lindgren Palm. Lindgren Palm up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou trying to get an opening, kicks it forward. Lindgren Palm chasing after it, keeps it in bounds. Walled off by Dixon, and she keeps it in as she takes it away. Dixon dribbling through open space. Sends a pass, cut off by Freeze. Pass back to Vianello now. Now all the way back to Hall. Out to Vianello, up the line, Lindgren Palm, forward to Cannon. Cannon trying to fight through Levine, does get a pass up to Chernychev. Chernychev kicks one up for Kimbrough. Kimbrough fakes out a defender, gets a pass out to the near side for Freeze. Freeze racing after it in the corner. Freeze looking for an opening, but she's double teamed and it's taken away by the Rockets. Kicked up the line. Disrupted by Paige Hammond and sent back to Kesselman. Cross to Hall. Out to Vianello. Vianello up the line for Lindgren Palm. Now her kick deflected. Chiapinelli slices it out of bounds. That's going to be a corner for Brookline. Setting up. Paige Hammond tried to keep it alive but couldn't, was walled off by Franklin. Now McCarthy clears it out. That's going to roll out of bounds. Brookline ball. Shout from the bench suggests that Brookline's got a minute before halftime. Throws it in, off the head of Cannon, off the head of Freeze, into open space. Hammond gets there first. Hammond up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou dribbling, tries to kick one through, it's deflected. Tapped back to Heeger and sliced out of bounds. Throw in for Brookline, they got about 30 seconds left. Freeze, pass. Out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough lost track of it, out of bounds. Subs coming in now for Needham, Moreski, and Bonacia back out. Heeger. Throw in off the head of Chernychev, off another head, corralled by Hammond. Hammond, pass to the outside for Lindgren Palm. Now up the line for Ukamadou. Ukamadou trying to gain the edge. Now kicks across her in. Cannon tries a kick, deflected, still deflecting, and it's booted away by the Rockets. Throw in for Brookline, Lindgren Palm. Throw in corralled by Freeze, pass it back to Vianello. Back to Hall. Brookline might not have time, and they don't. That is going to end the half in the box off of a corner kick. So now, during this halftime intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The pantry saw a huge increase in demand for food assistance at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that number has remained steadily high ever since. The food pantry has been serving an average of 650 households each week, more than 4 times the rate of families served pre-COVID. Brookline Food Pantry is fighting the good fight against hunger in our community, and they are always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made at United Parish Church at 210 Harvard Street in Brookline on Wednesdays and Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monetary donations can be made online at the food pantry's website, brooklinefoodpantry.org. Go online or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can help the Brookline Food Pantry to feed your community. Once again, brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. And remember, as always, you can find all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, that website and phone number, down in the description section of the video down below. You can also find a link to the Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, where you can help support the Brookline High soccer program. All that in the description section down below. Needham 1, Brookline 0. It is halftime from DeFazio Park in Needham, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I will be back for the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to DeFazio Park in Needham, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here to bring you the second half of today's high school varsity girls soccer contest between the hosting Needham High Rockets and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. The Rockets currently hold a 1-0 advantage over the Warriors off a goal from Hannah Levine on a chaotic corner kick play. Two teams have switched sides. Brookline now on the left, Needham on the right. Brookline will be getting us started with the opening possession of the second half. McKenna Hammond gets us started. Pass back to Vilena Chernychev. Now across to Anna Leshley, back to Chernychev. Chernychev passes back to Leshley. Leshley weaving her way around and now sends it all the way back to the center back, Babette Hall. Out to the near side to Julia Vianello. Up the line to Haley Ament. Ament taps it for Leshley. Leshley kicks it forward. Knocked away by Needham's Maya Dixon. Up to Sam Bonacia, now back to Callie McCarthy and Dixon again. Sliced towards the middle, knocked down by Hammond, but recovered by Hannah Levine. Levine kicks it up the far side out of bounds. Throw in, knocked out of bounds. Now it's going to be Needham ball. Throw in, deflects down, pass back, and it's booted high into the box. Charging out to take it is Julia Cherwin. Rolled in for Vianello, and now pass out to the near side to Ament. Ament, pass up to Leshley. Now Leshley sends a leader, blocked by Emma Spear. Recovered by Ament, pass deflected, recovered by McCarthy. Popped in the air over to Jessica Breyer, but taken by Brookline's number 24, Emma Ament. Sends one through up to Amra Ukamadou. Ukamadou battling. It's knocked out of bounds by Ava Chiapinelli. Throw in for Leshley. Deflected forward. Chiapinelli walls it off. Kicks it to McCarthy, who pops it up in the air. Bouncing along. Gianna Moreski battling and controls the ball, passes forward to Maeve Newman, but it deflects away from her and is chased down by Cherwin. Cherwin punts it, cross midfield, deflects, taken by Sydney Freeze, kicked forward, Ukamadou takes it, Ukamadou racing with Chiapinelli, Chiapinelli knocks it away again. Ava Chiapinelli, what a good job she's done on defense, but Ukamadou recovers, sends a crosser into the box. Not far enough for a header, and it's kicked away by Newman. Deflects up to Moreski. Moreski, pass, cut off by Ament. Leshley had it for a second, but it's deflected away, taken by Levine. Levine racing upfield, kicks one across midfield, too far, and it's going to be taken by Cherwin. Hall out to the near side to Ament. Ament tries pass, intercepted by Dixon. Dixon kicked to the middle, knocked away by Mirabelle Kesselman. It goes all the way up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou tried to figure out which way to go, but her kick was deflected away by Levine and controlled by Spear. Sends it back to the goalkeeper, out to the near side to Dixon. Dixon kicks it up the line. Vianello comes in and disrupts it, kicks forward out of bounds. Dixon throws it in. Battle along the near sideline, controlled by Bonacia. Pass back to Dixon, up to Newman, back to Chiapinelli. Popped up in the air. Freeze chases it down. Gets around a defender. Around another, now passes one through for Leshley. Leshley controls it. Leshley turns around, trying to gain the edge. Leshley trying to battle through, gets tripped up, no call! And McKenna Hammond recovers, passes it back to Freeze. Freeze gets around, fakes, still with the ball, crosser, caught by the keeper. Boy, it looked like there might have been a chance at a penalty when Leshley got tripped up, but the officials say the Needham defenders got ball first. Bonacia pass, intercepted Leshley. Pass back to Vianello. Now up to Ament. Ament walled off by Dixon. Dixon forward to Bonacia. Bonacia sending in a crosser, and it's booted out of bounds. Hall just cut that one off. Had a Brookline defender briefly down, but I think she's just readjusting her shin guard after that one. Corner kick for Needham. Coming from the near side corner, I believe this is Bonacia sending in the kick. Corner kick was how they got their first goal. And this one walled off out of bounds. And it's going to be another corner for Needham. Now kick towards the box, headed in. And I believe it's Hannah Levine again. Another corner kick goal for the Rockets from number 29, Hannah Levine. Assisted by Sam Bonacia, and now Needham with a 2-0 lead. Now that kick walled off by Sam Frankel as the forward pressure from Needham gives them another chance. A pass from Moreski broken up, recovered by Chernychev, but her kick walled off. Needham still pushing it. Now it's corralled by Newman. Tried a fancy pass, but didn't get enough on it, and it's taken away by Hammond. Hammond cut off by Kira Wolin, and it's chased down by Levine. Levine kicks it upfield. Knocked out of bounds by Hall. So for the second straight half, Needham gets a goal within the first 10 minutes on a corner kick scored by Hannah Levine. Now up 2 scores. Pass up, Hammond trying to race after it, gets tripped up and draws a penalty. This is the third time out of Brookline's first 4 games that they've allowed 2 goals. And all 3 times it resulted in them taking a 2-0 deficit. They came back from it once against Newton South, but came up short with their comeback against Hopkinton. What's going to happen here in Needham? Chernychev setting up for the free kick. This one floats in towards the box. Headed up in the air by Leshley. Deflected down and cleared out by the Rockets. Goes back to Hall. Hall boots one high, and they call offsides on Ukamadu. Ava Chiapinelli setting up to take the free kick. About 31.5 minutes on the clock here in the second half. Needham up 2-0. Kick goes off the head of Leshley. Swooping in is Hammond. Pass back to Eisenhower. Now out to the far side to Kesselman. Her pass intercepted by Frankel. Some miscommunication there. Frankel fights through one defender, tries a pass forward, but it's booted away by Kesselman. Dixon lost track of it for a second, but manages to get a pass back to Chiapinelli. Popped up in the air, bouncing along. and it's recovered by Kesselman. Kesselman kicks it up to Dixon. Dixon out to the far side, out of bounds. Freeze throws it in, up the line. Spear trying to wall it off, manages to get a pass to Heeger. Attempted clear, stolen by Freeze. Sidney Freeze fires a shot, and it's saved off the hop. That was one of the best attack chances Brookline's had so far today, but couldn't get enough juice on that kick. This kick downed, but then stolen briefly by Eisenhower, battling with Wolin. It's knocked away by Wolin, taken by Frankel. Frankel dribbling and walls off her teammate's kick by accident, but then Levine takes it and kicks it upfield. Controlled by Vianello and sent back to Cherwin. Out to the far side to Kesselman. Kesselman up to Chernychev. Chernychev to the middle to Leshley. Leshley dribbling around, looking, passing it back to Vianello. Out to the near side to Ament, back to Vianello. Vianello trying to dribble through, and it's collected by Leshley. Pass back to Hall. Hall out to Kesselman. Kesselman up to Chernychev. Chernychev sends a leader for Hammond. Hammond trying to race for it, but it's too far and goes out the back end. Substitutions coming in for Needham. Number 10, Callie McCarthy returns to the field, and number 22, Anna Lieberman, coming in for the first time, as they replace Sam Frankel and number 19, Riley McGillivray. This will be a goal kick for the Rockets. That one's a scrum for the ball. It's won by Ukamadou. Ukamadou pass to the middle. Stumbling was Leshley, but she recovers enough to pass back to Eisenhower. Eisenhower tries to send one through, walled off by Spear. Kicked up to Moreski, pass to the outside, cut off by Freeze. Freeze passes it back to Kesselman. Back to Hall. Now out to Vianello. Up to Ament. Ament stood up by Dixon. Vianello kicks it up the line, gets it up to Ukamadou. Knocked away by Chiapinelli. Ament swoops in to take it. Taps it back for Leshley. Leshley pops it up in the air. Ukamadou downs it but slips. And it's taken away by McCarthy. Pass up to Moreski. Tap over to the outside for Lieberman. Lieberman pass to the middle to Moreski. Moreski kicks it over Kesselman's head, and Wolin is going to chase that one down. Or no, she isn't. It's going to roll out of bounds. Substitution coming in for Brookline, number 16, Nora Shue, replaces Haley Ament. Just over 27 minutes left here in the second half. Out of bounds, Brookline ball again. Freeze throws it into Eisenhower. Disrupted, but Freeze recovers, passes it back to Hall. Up to Leshley, back to Hall. Hall, pass for Kesselman. Kesselman fends off the pressure, kicks it forward, knocked back by Levine, recovered by Chernychev, disrupted by Newman, and ultimately it's Levine who comes away with the ball. Kicks it up the line for Moreski. Moreski was trying to keep it in bounds, but she couldn't. This will be a goal kick. Substitutions for Needham, number 18, Jessica Breyer, and number 27, Sam Bonacia. They replace Kira Wolin and Gianna Moreski. Goal kick tapped for Hall. Hall kicks it up the middle to Leshley. Leshley manages to get a pass away to Vianello, up the line for Shue. Shu's pass walled off by McCarthy. Vianello chased it down, pass intercepted by McCarthy. Levine further back to Spear. Spear kicks it. It's going to be too far of a leading kick, and that's going to roll out of bounds, and that's going to be another goal kick. About 25.5 minutes left here in this one. Hall dribbling against the forward pressure, gets a kick up, bouncing up to Shu. Shu, it's knocked away by Dixon. Vianello cannot keep it in bounds, Needham ball. Dixon throws it in. And on Brookline. Chiapinelli setting up for the free kick from a fairly close distance. Launches it towards the box. Headed down, attempted kick deflected in the air. Bonacia launches one off the deflection, but it sails high and wide. We got a timeout now called by Brookline. Needham with a 2-0 advantage, and for the most part still winning the possession battle despite taking the multi-goal lead. Brookline has got to find a way to work around that Needham defense and get some better chances at net if they're going to get back in this one. That defensive back line for the Rockets of co-captains Ava Chiapinelli and Emma Spear, and wing defenders Maya Dixon and Chelsea Heeger, have been doing a very strong job of keeping the Brookline attackers at bay. Out of the timeout, it'll be a goal kick for the Warriors. Kick goes into Hall, now out to the far side to Kesselman, up to Chernychev. Chernychev with some space to dribble, she gives it over to Leshley. Leshley out to the far side. They move up the far side. This is Shu, having flipped over to the far side wing. Passes it back to Chernychev. Now further back to Hall. Hall up the middle to Leshley. Leshley's got some space. Now boots one high. They are trying to sneak around, but it's walled off by Dixon. And it is passed up to Lieberman. Lieberman trying to work up the near side, keeps it in bounds and gets a pass away to Newman. Back to Levine, who pops it up high in the air. Headed by Kesselman. Leshley kicks it high in the air, but too close to the face, and that will be a free kick for Needham. Chiapinelli launches the free kick from about midfield. It's headed away by Leshley. Now headed by Levine. Now headed by Chernychev. And it's Lieberman who recovers the ball and passes it back to Dixon. Dixon kicks it into the middle, where it's going to be taken by Chernychev, tapped forward for Freeze. Freeze racing upfield, still going. Freeze trying to cut around and sends it into the side of the net. Just ran out of real estate on that charge. And now a substitution for Needham. Gianna Moreski back in, replacing Anna Lieberman. Looks like Chiapinelli will be taking this goal kick for Needham. This one kicked upfield off of the head of Moreski, controlled by Vianello, and out of bounds. Vianello throws one in for Eisenhower. Eisenhower fends off the defenders, still dribbling, but now it's taken away by Newman. Moreski back to Newman. Now this pass deflected by Leshley, and Eisenhower kicks it away, up for Leshley. Leshley trying to send one through for Ukamadu. Ukamadu trying to race for it, and ran out of real estate, but they're going to call a corner. They're going to say Chiapinelli touched it last. Big chance for Brookline here on the corner. The corners have been magic for Needham so far today. Can Brookline get a corner score of their own? And it's a slow coming in corner kick. Hammond had it for a second, deflected away from her, taken by Shu. Brookline going the wrong way, and Shu lost the ball. It's taken by Moreski, poked away by Shu, and recovered by Vianello. Pass to the middle to Chernychev, taken away by McCarthy. Her kick deflected by Kesselman. It's a chaotic matter after that. Corner kick just went disastrously for Brookline. And now a throw-in. Vianello throws it up the line to Ukamadu. Ukamadu gets around Dixon. Ukamadu sends in a crosser! Bouncing away, shot misses wide! Sydney Freeze had a big chance there off the long bouncing crosser from Ukamadu, but just couldn't get the angle. This will be another goal kick for Needham. Just under 21 minutes left here. Chiapinelli kicks one low up the middle, off the foot of McCarthy. Eisenhower trying to push the issue, but she missed, and Levine boots it away out of bounds on the Brookline side of the field. Throw in to Eisenhower, pass back to Kesselman, out to Vianello. Vianello turns around, pass misses, Kesselman. Bonacia taking advantage, but Hall desperately kicks it away. It's going to roll into the corner and out the back end. That's going to be a corner kick for Needham. Another corner kick for the Rockets. They've scored twice off these corners already. McCarthy kicks it into the box, heads the wrong way, and out of bounds. And it'll be Brookline, no, Needham ball. Bonacia setting up to throw it in. Moreski sends one into the box, walled off by Kesselman. Kesselman tries to clear it out. Needham keeps on the attack, and another kick, and that is simply going to be a goal kick. Rolls it in for Kesselman. Kesselman out to the near side to Vianello. Vianello up the line for Ukamadu, and it's knocked out of bounds by Dixon. Vianello throws it in for Leshley. Leshley lost track of it, kicked away by McCarthy, but taken by Hammond, walled off by Levine. Kick from Moreski, deflected by Vianello. Moreski kicks it again, too close to the face, and that's going to be a free kick for Brookline. They've got Kesselman setting up for the free kick. Coming in low and booted away by McCarthy. Chased down by Vianello and sent across to Hall. Hall passing out to the far side for Shu. Shu up the line for Freeze, but gets away from her. Kick to the middle, now taken by Eisenhower. Pass to Leshley. Leshley dribbling up the middle. Gets around a defender. Leshley racing upfield. Leshley fires, walled off by Chiapinelli. Scrum for the ball. Won by Brookline, pass back to Chernychev. Chernychev fires, walled off by Newman. Hall takes it, pass forward. Taken by Leshley and sent back to Kesselman. Cross to Hall, up the line to Shu. Shu to the middle to Hammond, to the outside to Freeze. Freeze dribbling, starts to move, cuts back, passes back. Shu pops it into the box. Eisenhower whiffs on the kick, and Chernychev whiffs on the kick, and it's taken by Moreski. Moreski touches it forward, and now another kick forward, and now it's a race to the ball. And Vianello takes it away from Porras, kicks it upfield, controlled by Dixon, pops it up in the air. Ukamadou heads it the other way. Chiapinelli boots it back across midfield, off the hood up by Kesselman. Kesselman takes it away. Kesselman, stood up by Kesselman. Kesselman takes it away. Kesselman gets a pass forward to Leshley. Leshley dribbling. Leshley still taking off, trying to send a through pass for Ukamadou, and offside's called. Little over 16 minutes left in this one. Needham still leads 2-0. Chiapinelli boots it off the head of Leshley, downed by McCarthy, kicks it out to the near side, kept in bounds by Moreski. Moreski manages to get a pass out to McCarthy, sent back to Chiapinelli. Kicked out to the far side for Porras. Could not keep it in bounds. Brookline throws it in for Freeze. Freeze tries to tap it to the middle, deflects several which ways. Shu corrals it. Shu sends it forward to Hammond, back to Leshley. Leshley stops and starts, tries to break her way through, but it deflects off her and out the back end for a goal kick. Substitutions now for the Rockets. Kira Wolin and Jessica Breyer come in, replacing Sam Bonacia and Sarah Porras. A little less than 15 minutes left in this one. Free kick off the head of Ukamadou. Dixon kicks it forward to Moreski. Disrupted by Eisenhower, but recovered by Dixon. Pass up to McCarthy. McCarthy kick, walled off by Chernychev. Chased down and recovered by Freeze. Freeze dribbling up the far side. Knocked out of bounds by Heger. Shu throws it into Chernychev, who taps it back for Shu. Wolin takes it away and gets the favorable deflection off Shu out of bounds. Throw in. Off ahead. Taken by Breyer. Breyer's kick. Gonna bounce out of bounds. Brookline ball. 3 subs now coming in for Brookline. Number 17, Lila Cannon. Number 7, Haley Ament. And for the first time, number 8, Juliana Siegel. They come in replacing Nora Shu, Emma Eisenhower, and McKenna Hammond. Throw in booted away by the Rockets. Kesselman boots it back. That's going to fly out of bounds. Throw in. Kicked away by Freeze. Heger tries to kick it, deflects, and Leshley boots it high in the air. Cannon deflects it towards the middle. It's taken by Siegel. Siegel trying to fight her way around Dixon. She cannot. Dixon kicks it away. Kick deflects into open space where it's taken by Chernychev. Pass to the outside to Freeze. Freeze fights her way through a defender. Freeze off and running. Freeze trying to force her way through Spear. Runs out of real estate, and it's going to be a goal kick. Another goal kick coming up for the Rockets. This one booted high. Deflects off of Leshley. Controlled by Vianello. Pass up for Freeze, who's now on the near side. Freeze sends it to the middle to Lennon, and Spear kicks it away. Dixon tries a kick, ricochets like a pinball, and Dixon recovers. Dixon, pass disrupted, and Kesselman takes it. Pass up to Siegel, kick back to Hall. Hall boots it forward, goes off Spear's head the wrong way. Racing after it is Ukamadou. Ukamadou takes it, cuts around, still trying to cut around. Now sends one into the box. It's booted out immediately. Leshley recovers, passes it back to Kesselman. Kesselman launches a long shot, and it's caught out of the air by the keeper. Keeper punts it off the head of Leshley. Kicked away up to McCarthy. And after a couple disruptions, goes out to the far side where it's taken by Ament. Ament battling with Newman, trying to get around. Ament can't keep the ball in bounds. Needham ball. 11 minutes left. 24, Sam Frankel. She replaces Jessica Breyer. Throw in up the far side. Tap over to Wolin. Wolin tries to send it to the outside, but nobody there, out of bounds. Hall throws it in. Off ahead. Corralled by Chernychev. Back to Kesselman. Kesselman boots it up to Freeze. Freeze got some space to work. Kicks it out to the far side to Ament. Ament dribbling towards the middle, now kicks it forward to Siegel. Siegel fights her way through a defender. Siegel sends a pass, cut off by Spear. Spear kicks one forward, stopped by Ament. Ament pass to Chernychev, tap back for Ament. Ament kicks it up the line a little too far, but Cannon swoops in and forces Chiapinelli to kick that one out of bounds. 9.5 minutes left. Quick throw in from Brookline. Deflects off Siegel. Siegel recovers. Siegel fires a shot, misses wide. Off the head of Leshley. Off the head of Dixon. Off the foot of McCarthy. Frankel keeps it in bounds. Pass to the middle. Gets to Moreski, but her pass too far, and it's taken by Vianello, sent back to Cherwin. Cherwin up the far side. Ament sends it forward to Ukamadou. Ukamadou, long kick is just going to bounce wide of the net for another goal kick. Substitution for Needham. Sam Bonacia back in the game, replacing Gianna Moreski. Chiapinelli Deflects, and now Leshley boots it forward off the head of Spear, off the head of Leshley, off the head of Levine. Now taken by Vianello to the outside to Freeze. Freeze working up the near sideline. Freeze trying to gain the edge. Stood up by Chiappinelli, but fights through her. Freeze sends a crosser, and it misses everyone, and it's cleared out by Needham. That ball managed to find the one spot to split by every single player from both teams, and Brookline comes away with nothing. Brookline trying to move it up again. This is Vianello sending it back up to Freeze. Freeze dribbling, deflected away by Dixon. Vianello chases it down, pass back to Hall. Cross to Kesselman. Up the line to Ament. Ament to the middle to Siegel. Siegel turns around, gives to Chernychev. Now out to the near side, Vianello. Vianello forward to Freeze. Freeze trying to fight around Dixon. Knocked out of bounds by Dixon. Throw in for Brookline. Quick throw in. Misses Vianello. Bonacia takes it, but her pass intercepted by Leshley. Leshley trying to cut through. Gets pushed down by Levine. No whistle, and play continues on. Out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throw in to Leshley. Leshley fights through a defender now. Her crosser deflected by Levine, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. Brookline ball. Quick throw in. Vianello knocked out of bounds. Throw in, deflects back to Freeze, knocked out of bounds. Brookline ball again. This throw in controlled by Cannon. Last touched by Brookline, it'll be a goal kick. Subs coming in for Needham, Breyer, and Moreski, replacing Wolin and Newman. Just 5.5 minutes left. Needham holding on to a 2-0 lead over Brookline. The kick bounds. Dixon throws it in off the head of Leshley. Dixon kicks it up the middle, taken by Siegel. Siegel pass misses Chernychev. Ukamadu racing after it. Ukamadu trying to fight Heger. It's knocked out of bounds. Brookline ball. Rushing the throw in. Knocked out of bounds. Stays with Brookline. Ament setting up for another throw in. Gets it into Siegel. Tapped back for Ament. Ament back now to Hall. Across to Kesselman. Kesselman forward. Leshley chases it down, gets it out to Vianello. Vianello keeps it in bounds, races up the near sideline. Stood up by Dixon. Needham ball. Subs coming in, Wolin and Newman right back into the game, replacing Frankel. This throw in off ahead. Deflects. Freeze controls it. Freeze trying to gain the edge. Freeze sends in a crosser. Too high. Sydney Freeze has generated a number of good chances for the Brookline offense today, but always just something missing. We are in stoppage time at this point. Clock on the scoreboard frozen at 5 minutes. Only the officials know for certain how much time we got left. This one booted high. Off the head of Leshley. Deflects off Cannon towards Ukamadu. Ukamadu fire off the head of Leshley the wrong way. All the way down to the box. Sherwin rushes out to take it. Sends a pass out to Ament. Ament working up the far sideline. Gets tripped up. And that's going to be a penalty on Needham. Free kick for Brookline. Free kick from Hall. Upfield deflects back to Chernychev. Pass to the middle too far, but Leshley slides in and disrupts it, and they call a penalty on Leshley for that one. It'll be a free kick for Needham. Chiapinelli boots it out to the far side, off ahead, out of bounds. Needham ball. Throw in, off ahead, deflects forward. Breyer slices it into the air. Newman's kick deflects forward. Wolin keeping it in play in the box, but Hall finally boots it out. Walled down by Levine. Breyer taps it back to Newman. Newman's pass walled off. Newman recovers, kicks it. Taken off a hop by Sherwin. Sherwin racing her teammates upfield and punting it. Off the punt, downed by Dixon, recovered by Siegel. Siegel's pass deflected off the head of McCarthy towards Moreski. Moreski kicks forward too far. It's going to be chased down by Ament, kicked back to Sherwin. Sherwin passes it up to Kesselman. Kesselman up to Leshley, out to Vianello. Forward, knocked away, taken by Newman, lost out. Throw in for Leshley. Leshley kicks it forward to Cannon. Cannon fighting for it, can't get it through the sea of defenders. It's kicked out of bounds, and that is your ball game. The Needham Rockets get their second straight win and improve above 500 with this conference win. The final score, Needham 2, Brookline 0. Both scores for Needham coming from Hannah Levine on a pair of corner kicks, one early in the first half, one early in the second half. Needham improves to 2-1-0 on the year. Brookline falls to 2-2-0 on the year, as the Warriors' offense gets blanked for the first time this season. They had scored 5 goals through their first 3 games, but can't find the back of the net this time. Well, that is going to do it for this live stream. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming sports live streams. We got plenty of more Brookline soccer on the docket, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who tuned in. If there's anything you'd like to say, but the live stream has already ended, you can say it in the comment section down below, where you can find the BHS Soccer, the booster club for Brookline High Soccer. You can also find information about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Food Pantry. Find out how you can help feed your community. And also be sure to check out the bottom right corner of your screen for some more information about me. That information, of course, also down in the description section. You can see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. You can also email me directly with any questions or requests you may have, and you can also follow me on Instagram, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Needham 2, Brookline 0 from DeFazio Park in Needham, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.